After visiting the Taolin, the newest tribe, I decided to continue with the oldest, the Olumi. The red-clad tribe are the quintessential Easterners, inhabitants of the vast steppes of Orun, the Far East, a land of vast tall grasses that reach shades of green, gold, and deep scarlet. The Olumi have skin reminiscent of bronze, with dark hair, cunning slanted eyes, and flat faces. They also have dense skulls with small protuberances, but in some individuals these grow like horns. For the tribe, this trait is the mark of belonging to a family and a people who follow the right path. However, here and there, other mutations occur within the Olumi. Some children are born with paler skin, jet black, coppery, or mottled, and sometimes with eyes as dark as night. The red priests claim that these children are blessed, because Mother Earth has revealed the color of their blood and therefore their place in the order. But these are some of the physical characteristics of the Red Tribe. What about their culture? Thus spoke Khalil al-Duran, Archmage of Kudamar, and Duke of the Opal Tower. I have never experienced the term culture shock as much as when I encountered the Olumi on the slopes of Tenkri. A people not unpleasant, but inescrutable. To speak with each of them was to speak with them all, not out of monotony, though I admit I found them particularly terse, but because each individual seemed to be the receptacle of a wisdom that predates the flood and the fall of the tower. The Olumi, who in their language, the Jelen, translates as the people in red, proudly claim to be the oldest of the tribes and direct descendants of the first, those who learned the gifts of light and upright walking. The Babylon order supports this notion, as their research suggests that humanity originated somewhere in the steppes of the Far East, a site the red-clad tribe considers sacred. The Olumi adhere to the old traditions and are their greatest guardians. This is a set of beliefs, ideas, and rituals said to have originated in the ancient era, and which contemplate that humankind is part of a primordial whole, the earth, which is their goddess and cradle. To believe that humankind has a leading role in the stage of the cosmos is nothing but arrogance. To understand and take one's place on this earth and as part of it is transcendence. To desire more than this leads to suffering. For the Olumi, humankind is an imperfect creature, too ambitious for its own good and too far removed from its origin. The Olumi do not have leaders in the traditional sense of the word. They are one people, one body. Choosing leaders is done by those who are all too human. However, they do have referents, figures to imitate because they excel in their respective fields, as the Red people are a caste society that mimics that of the ancient gods. We will explore these castes later. What surprises the Babylons is that the Olumi have maintained their culture intact, or nearly so, for so many millennia. Those who visit them feel as they are frozen in time. They are a deeply spiritual people, convinced they possess a destiny, and they use their myths to support their beliefs. In these legends, the earth sculpted humanity from the clay left over from its previous works, and humanity became its shepherd and guardian. And it was given a home, but man, unable to keep his eyes on the ground, turned his back on his purpose. This was the first sin, and the family of men was scattered across the earth and could no longer understand each other or the creatures of the world. The Olumi say they are the ones who were left behind, but throughout their history this has not always been the case. Until a few decades ago, during the Great Taolin expansion, the Olumi had settlements and mobile parties in the west. Guerrilla groups destined to defeat their enemies, or parties of seekers led by the Red Priests, bell-bearers, who are the spiritual leaders of the tribe and perform their rites and sacrifices. But the Taolin declared their enmity against them and decimated them using the force of the neighboring tribes they had already subjugated. The Olumi were the ones who received the worst treatment from the empire, and a stigma that persists even after the fall. Today, the red-clad tribe struggles to regain their numbers and their sacred sites, and perhaps they can still find a chance to recover, but the wound is deep, and the spilled blood awakens a dark hunger in the new generations. The Olumi are the tribe I have written the most about, and they are complex. I found it difficult to summarize the fundamental aspects of their culture and their place in Worn. As with the previous people, we will need new stories to fully characterize them.